Good morning. I was just enjoying the early morning on the back patio and realized I would say most everything out here has been thrifted or picked or something redone, upcycled. So I thought I'd take you a walk through and see what we have. This flower market sign I picked up at a thrift store for $1 or $2. And it's not in the greatest of shape, but it looks perfect out here with my flowers. Now, isn't that just the cutest little blue cast iron planter or plant stand with these tassels? I just fell in love with it when I found it. So I did repaint it this year, gave it a fresh coat of paint. These big metal baskets, these cast iron, I think, or they're wire anyway, baskets. I found several of those at a thrift store one day. And then I found a bunch of them at a garage sale the same weekend. So you'll see several of those as we go around. This piece is just special to me. I picked it up in Utah. Yes, I thrift when we go places, and that was at a thrift store out there. I can't remember. It was a unique name for Utah thrift stores. I'll have to look that up and let you know. But I picked that up there. So I've cleaned him up this year and sprayed him with some shellac. That's my favorite thing. And the plants, most of these plants have come from an Amish greenhouse near Versailles, Missouri. And so that's where I bought them in little tubs and brought them home and put them together. This is my favorite, I think. I just love tall flowers out of a basket. So let's see. These, I didn't know if they'd work out. My husband wasn't real sure that they'd be sturdy enough. But these tall metal cast iron baskets on poles, look at this. This is starting to trellis and hang over the edge. And I just love those. They needed a little tightening up, and they have the little 90-degree hook on the bottom, and I just hammered those in really good. I thought this tells you a little bit about my husband. He did this top piece. He was looking at this, look at the suns, at a garage sale or an estate sale 3 or 4 years ago. And while he was looking at it, I think he said he dropped it and he broke out the top sun. And he said, well, I guess I'll buy this. So he brought it home and he found this piece and replaced it. Isn't that cool? This I've gotten at a garage sale as well. I get most of my garden stuff at garage sales or estate sales. And same thing with the little green bug. He came from an estate sale. I dug him kind of out of the ground down underneath an old patio. Now those little lights, I think they're fun. They light up at night. And I got those on Temu. I mean, if you haven't bought something from Temu, you haven't lived, right? I don't know. Okay, let's see what else we have out here. Oh, yeah, this. A friend of mine had on Marketplace these 2 wicker chairs. Well, I've always wanted some wicker chairs, but I had never gotten any. So I picked up these 2 wicker chairs. They're the most comfortable thing to sit in. I found the cushions at a garage sale for $1 or $2 a piece. And so I had my adult boys over a few weeks ago, and I watched them just sit out here in these chairs and chat, and it was just such a good feeling to know they were just sitting there comfortably. Same thing with this little guy. Aren't they cute? I am going to paint their wagon. I just haven't gotten it done yet. They're a concrete statue. Now this rug, it is not worth having inside, but I snagged it at a church garage sale. You can see the backing's gone. But it just puts this all together here very nicely. The little table I got for $2. It was pretty bad looking. So I put a coat of paint on it. And of course this bucket, yep, you guessed it, an estate sale. There's my fern. Oh, let's see, what else do we have out here? These cushions, they came from a garage sale, so just a few bucks. The little lantern planter, I put just a little succulent in it and it loves it there. I plant a lot of little succulents and take them to my shows when I have outdoor shows in the spring. Isn't this guy amazing? I picked him up at a garage sale for $1. Isn't that something? Somebody's done all this carving, and then he ends up getting sold for $1 at a garage sale. I just think he's amazing. And then this little well, every year I drag it out and find something that'll fit in it. This tub, quite some time ago when my neighbor moved away, she knows how I love old stuff, and she said, would you like to have that? So I snagged that from her before she put it in a garage sale. And these little fairies, they're walking out to the dandelion blossom, and you guessed it, garage sale. And this little chicken, rooster, I guess, I got him at an estate sale, and yeah, the little church. Put all the little flowers in there. Here's a piece of wood that will become something my husband will carve. He's set it aside. I don't know exactly what he sees in it yet, but he is ready to do something with that. Now, look at this. What do we have? Oh, this little green pot I thought was so pretty, so I stuck it up there, of course. Here's the little cowbells. Yeah, it's just rusty crusty. You guessed it. Estate sale. I found all these things over the last year, and there's that, of course, that little wheelbarrow. I got it for like $1 at a garage sale. This pot's pretty special to me. I've had that since my mom passed away several years ago. A very good friend of mine, she was a former boss, mentor, mostly friend, sent me great big geraniums in that, and that pot's just stayed good ever since. Let's see what else we have down here. Well, here are all the flowers. What else do we have? Oh, this raised bed. Now, it won't last forever, but the wood on that is from a dollar auction item that I got. It was a door, and actually it was 2 doors. It was a lot that had a picture in it I wanted, and it went for $1. So my husband, I said, hey, you got that, make that into the next bed, because it had to be replaced. So he cut that up, and for $1 we have this raised garden bed plus a lot of other things. My garden has gone crazy. I mean, I've just gotten it in lately, but we've had just the right amount of rain, and yeah. So back here I have what was supposed to be a little fountain, but when I got it home, it was another auction win from an estate sale, an online auction. When we got it home, it was late fall, so I just put it aside. We got it out this summer and discovered it just has such a significant inner crack that I think the frustration of trying to make it work as a fountain might not be worth it. So it's just gorgeous like this, right? It became a planter. I love that her little pan she's holding will hold water sometimes. I see the little birds coming out here landing. And then my hostas have been in a few years, so they're just doing great. Here's another little frog. Yep, that, you guessed it, came from a garage sale. Just enjoy my outdoors so much and add to it every year. Now, this was a sad thing. Yep, that. It was this most beautiful, huge pot. I mean, you know they're expensive when they're that big. And someone moved it one day and dropped it or hit it and broke the bottom out of it. Someone. And so I was so sad, irritated about it, but I thought, I'm keeping it, I'm going to do something. So every year it's just there on its side, and I put some soil in it, and it goes right here with some impatiens in it. Yep. Okay, let's walk around, see what else we have. Oh, that's Cookie. We love Cookie. She's not felt real well lately, but she started getting better. I think she had, I don't know, little tummy troubles. But she's eating again and being herself and playing and wandering around. So we're happy about that. Okay, let's see what else we have out here. Oh, the fairy garden. My grandchildren, I told you. Oh, we'll go there in a minute. I'm sorry, I've got to show you another piece from Utah. Right over here, We were at the bins, yes, the Goodwill bins in Utah, or maybe it was Colorado. I was on a trip anyway, and I found this and dug it out at the bins and said, I have to have that. And so we drug that around with us through Colorado, Utah, and all the way back. Isn't it gorgeous? I just love it. And then same thing with this pot, this plant. What do you think? Isn't that so cool? I took this and just filled it with succulents. Love it. There's some things that need repaired down there, and of course that needs paint, but not yet. I'm kind of busy. Here's one of the wind chimes my husband made. He took some, I don't know, pipes that he had that he set aside, and listen. He learned about how long you had to cut them to get different sounds. And isn't that beautiful? Here's another set he made. I think this was his first set. He was learning more then. So the diameter of the tubes and the length all makes them sound differently. Anyway, he's going to get to retire at some time in the next year, and I'm sure looking forward to having him home so that we can do some of these creative things together. All right, now to the fairy garden. My 10 grandchildren, out of my 10 grandchildren, I have a granddaughter named Lucy, who absolutely loves miniatures and loves the fairy garden. So somehow it's worked out that the last 2 years she's been able to come over and at the right time and set up the fairy garden. She even purchased this little, it was a birdhouse, of course, for the farmer's market. And she was so excited to find that and said, Grandma, don't you think this would look good in the fairy garden? So the fairies have their own farmer's market. And then I thrifted that pot too. I mean, they practically threw it in for free because they were just trying to get rid of more things. It may have been free. Isn't that a beautiful pot? And these are some things that, I think you saw those when I redid them with shellac this year. I got those at a really expensive estate sale in downtown in an expensive old area of Kansas City and off the plaza, and I just loved them. So I brought those home and have just kind of taken care of them. I guess I'll give them up someday, but not today. And then this bicycle, I think I picked it up at a thrift store. I just loved it. The lighthouse, I was going to paint it this year, and I thought, no, it just looks so rugged, like it's been beat by the sea. And then I put the little lights around it, the way they're laying, the little solar lights, and at night they light up, and you can see the lighthouse real well from my window. And so Lucy and her couple of sisters worked on this. We actually went to the dollar store and found a couple of new fairies that they named and put in the garden. Let's see, there is one of the fairies there. She's swimming, yep. And then let's see, where did the other fairy go? Where is she? The monster cats come walking through the garden and knock things over. Let's see, I think she's right back here in the garden. Is that her? Yeah, I think so. All right, well anyway, every single thing in this has been thrifted except for that little church was given to me by a friend of mine at church, and she's very special. Sherry, if you're watching, she's not there anymore. Our church is quite a ways from where she lives, so, but I miss you, Sherry. I miss you. That was such a deal when she brought me that. I was like, oh. That little rock I thought was pretty cool how Lucy set it up this year, because it kind of looks like a little amphitheater back in there, a little cave. I had just painted it gold and thought, oh no, it kind of goes in here somewhere, but I wasn't really quite sure how. All right, so those are the fairies. Now, here's the last thing I'll show you, I promise, and then I'll end this video. See this chandelier? Oh my gosh. I was just so excited when I saw this sitting outside a shed in the dirt. I was like, do you sell the stuff back here? Yes. Well, how do you know what the prices are? Oh, you just ask us. Well, we'll sell it to you for about anything. Okay. So I picked it up for, are you ready? $3. Ah, I love all these little hanging crystals. Guys, they're filthy, but they will clean up. So on my list of projects coming up is to take this all apart and clean it up and find all the pieces that are worth saving, like these little bowls. People who are redoing chandeliers will use those. All these little arms, all the pieces. So, yep, that's coming up now. Like this one's broken. So sad. But I'm sure we'll find a purpose for it. All right. That's it for today. See ya. Oh, psh, there's a giant cat in the fairy garden. Lovey, what are you doing? Say bye. Bye, everyone.